Hello crafters, I am Brandi Barnard here from BrandiStamps.com. Excited to share with you today 4 awesome cards that are made using the Country Birdhouse bundle. So this video is actually in conjunction with my BrandiStamps Card Club. This is the walkthrough video that's going to help my May 2024 people make all of their awesome cards that they got from being in my card club. So hi to all of you. Thank you for being a part of my club. Hope you're gonna love these cards. If you are not a part of my card club, feel free to watch this video, get inspired, see the cards. You can even copy them. And in my description, you'll find a link to tell you a little bit more about my card club and how it works. You can join in anytime. It doesn't matter where you live. Anywhere in the US, I can send the kit to you. You can follow along on this video or the PDF I provide and make some pretty cards too. So let's go ahead and get started, guys. Each month for my card club, I select one current stamp set from Stampin' Up. And for May 2024, we did this Country Birdhouse set. So some of my card club members are going to be breaking out this set and mounting all of it on blocks because we'll use every single piece, and going to town with this one. If you don't have this stamp set, feel free to break out any stamps that you have and you make this card using the stamps you have. I love the idea of everybody getting their rubber inky and getting everything used that they have purchased and are loving on their shelves. They need to get used. So every month we feature a different stamp set, and if you want to add the stamp set to your card club order, I usually offer a little discount to do that, so lots of you will be receiving it with your card kit. If you paid your $34 to join my card club, this is what you have received. I provided awesome products. So this is a quarter pack of the Unbounded Beauty Designer Series paper. This is a pack of our new In Color Shimmer Gems. And this is a roll of the Vanilla and Black Checked Ribbon. So together these products equal about $20 in catalog value. And all of these items were included in the card club packet, and you'll be using these to make your cards. So pull these out, you'll use a few gems, you'll use some of the ribbon, and I've got some of my pieces already cut here, but look, I've got all this left for other projects. And then of course in the card kit, I gave you your little kits to make all 4 cards. So I've designed 4 different cards for you. You get all the pieces to make 2 of each card plus envelopes on top of the $20 in product. So I hope you feel like that's an awesome value and you are loving making 8 cards a month with me. So let's set these aside. Each month I always let my card club members know beforehand what ink we're going to be using, just so they can pull it out or get it re-inked or purchase it if they don't already have it. This time it's the Tuxedo Black Memento ink pad, plus a handful of Stampin' blends. We're using 5 different sets. So it's the Lemon Lolly, the Basic Black, the new Petunia Pop, Summer Splash, and Pretty in Pink. And so if you don't have these exact colors, feel free to break out similar ones, or you can always add those onto your card club kit as well. Just pull those out so you've got them ready to go. And then of course you're always going to want some basic supplies on hand. For instance, you'll want a paper trimmer to cut those pieces of designer paper that we'll be using. You will want a good pair of scissors, nice and sharp for ribbon and everything. You'll want, I like to use the Take Your Pick tool to place my little gems, the bone folder to get a nice crease on all my cards. These are just kind of the tools that I like to use. And then my favorite adhesives, I like Stampin' Seal Plus for my paper-to-paper gluing. I always use a lot of mini glue dots. I love these guys. And then Stampin' Dimensionals. Both sizes might be used month to month. And this month we're using a bit of the Tombow multipurpose liquid glue. So you'll want to have all your favorite adhesives handy, and we'll just go ahead and start making some awesome cards. Those who are in my card club have received an awesome PDF that shows which pieces to cut from the designer paper. I've already done that part for our video. And then we've also got all the pieces here. If you ever want to repeat, make those cards again. As a member of my card club, you have access to that so that you have those designs forever. And then each card has its own little page where you'll see all of the details for how to make that card. So if you choose to do it by walking through it on paper, that's great, or you can use the video or a mixture of both. So this is my card number 1 packet. And this has everything in it to make 2 cards. So I'm just gonna separate this really quick because we're just gonna do one for the video. Okay, so for this card, let's start by adhering this bigger white piece inside of the card. That'll be nice to get out of the way just because there are 2 larger white pieces and we wanna make sure we're using the right one. So I'll just roll some Seal Plus down the sides and stick that inside my card. Now on the front of the card, we're going to adhere these 2 designer series paper rectangles. So let's go ahead and use a little glue. They go all the way to the edge, so go ahead and line it up flush with the edge of the card. Okay, so get those 2 corners. And we're going to grab our Memento ink pad. So we've got this piece in the set that has several different flowers on it. And we're just going to kind of stamp this diagonally. So I'm going to rotate it back and forth so I get some flowers going each direction. Okay, we're also going to add a little bit of the speckle that's in the stamp set. And for these guys, I'll stamp off on my scratch paper and then bring them over here so I get kind of a lighter, more of a gray speckle here. Well, I've got my stamp out. I'll add one down to the corner of my envelope. And you could throw one inside of your card as well if you want to. And then also while we're stamping, let's grab this longer greeting. It says, hoping you have the best day ever. And I'm going to stamp it on this lemon lolly piece, but instead of actually centering it, I'm going to bump it all the way to the right so that it leaves room on the left edge for some little accents. So we'll get it nice and inky, just like that. Okay, now we're going to do a little bit of coloring on our flowers here. I'm going to use my Petunia Pop, the darker one, to do some of these center flowers. These are kind of a fun cartoony looking flower, so I'm pretty much just coloring these solid. I'm going to do the inner flower darker and the outer flower lighter. Okay, now that I've got those done, I will jump over here with my lemon lolly, do the lighter one and add a little center in each of the flowers. And I'll use my darker lemon lolly to do all my little tulips. And just do some leaves. Okay, that is looking finished. All right, we're going to grab the ribbon that came with your kit and cut off about 14 inches. What I want to do is a square knot, so I'm going right over the top, hold it. This time I'm going left over the top. And as I pull this tight, I'll help make sure that top loop stays nice and flat. These 2 ends come to the outside. You can trim that off. Okay, we're ready to come back over to the card base, and this will just get adhered right about in the middle. So let's use, I think I'll use my mini glue dots just because I've got the ribbon here. And so I've got a little extra, I don't know, something to fight with the adhesive. So the mini glue dots will hold really, really well, even though there's ribbon. It should fit with a nice even frame all the way around. And now we can adhere this strip right across the card above the ribbon. I'm going to use my mini glue dots again. Okay, so adorable. Now in your kit, you've got a couple of die cuts. These are cut right from the Country Birdhouse die set. And I used the new In Color Glimmer paper, our leaf there, using mini glue dots. And then we will use a baby dimensional in the center of the flower. It fits just right so that that can be popped up. Now, as a finishing touch, we will hop over and use a few of our gems just to kind of decorate along the flower row. I'm going to use the Shy Shamrock ones just to kind of pull an extra green vibe here, just like that. And that's it. We've got card number 1 all finished. Here are all the pieces for card number 2. And this one is a little different. It has a white card base that's the size of a usual card base, 5.5 by 4.25, but this piece doesn't open. This is the smaller piece that's going to open. So we'll start by layering this designer paper to the front of the card, just over to the left side. Should have a little edge around it. Do some stamping onto this little card. This is the biggest one. I'm going to actually bring my ink pad down to it, and we'll stamp it down toward the bottom of this little card front. Okay. And then there's also this little chain piece, which will have it hang right off of our card. There's a darling little design that's going to go on the scallops of our birdhouse edge. So I'm going to lay this just on a darker surface so I can see right where it is while I stamp it. Okay, we've got our little birdhouse base here. And this is where I'm going to stamp Happy Birthday. Of course, we want our little bird stamped right onto the bird die cut. Again, laying it on a darker surface will help you line that up. And then if it ends up off a little bit and you have like extra white, just trim the white edge that's too much. Okay, let's come back to our little birdhouse image. We are going to use some of our liquid glue to attach these birdhouse pieces. So I'll just do some really small little dots here. Less tends to be more with the liquid glue. It holds really well, so you don't need a lot. And then we're just going to use this stamped image as a guide. It should glue right over the stamped one. Okay, now we'll add this cute little layer. This one we can just attach right down with our Seal Plus. It's just a nice width to roll that on. So we'll cover the base there. This is the piece that goes on the inside of the card. Let's go ahead and glue that down. Let's see, while I had my bird out, I should have stamped on the envelope. That'll be a cute little addition. Or any of the flowers or whatever you want to do on the envelope. Light Summer Splash, Light Pretty in Pink, and my darker Lemon Lolly. We'll just do a little bit of coloring on this little bird. He's a multi-tone bird, so I'm going to just color some blue on here. And we'll come in with our Pretty in Pink, do that cute little belly and the tail. And then, of course, a cute little yellow beak. This bird is fun. Okay, and then this one is gonna go right up here. We'll just kind of prop this bird up. I'm going to cover that smaller little post using the bird. Got a couple of Stampin' Dimensionals. You could use your baby ones on here. He's small, but not tiny, tiny. And we'll just make it so he's sitting right on the base there. Another fun touch for this layer, I'm going to use 12 inches of our ribbon, and I just call this an air bow when I hold the ribbon, you know, not around anything. I make one loop and then use, you know, one's longer, one's shorter. Use the longer one to wrap around your loop. You should have made a nice big cave with the fingers that were there, and you'll just tuck that other end up there. And so now, before we pull it tight, we can always just kind of adjust how it's looking. And when you like how it is, just give it a nice tug. Usually a bow like this I attach with a mini glue dot to the front of the card, or even a couple of these. So let's get one or two. And we'll just stick that right at the top of our birdhouse. Make fun and trim these ends off. So this mini card is just going to attach now to the card base that we had created. Use Seal Plus. Stick that down just how you want it. And we can pull a few gems onto this as well. Just kind of decorate it however you think would look good. Put a little blue one up here. A couple pink ones around. And that is card number 2. For card number 3, we've got all of these pieces. The card base is black. And then we have 2 pieces of our basic white that are the exact same size. So right off the bat, one of those goes inside the card. So let's go ahead and adhere that. The second piece is going to go right on the front of the card. And one of the main decorations here is going to be this designer paper that we've already got cut. So this is fun peach pie flowered layer. We want the flowers going upward, and we'll glue this way off to the left edge. It should be flush with all 3 sides. Another thing we're going to want to adhere together, we've got these 2 cute little strips, a pretty and pink one, and then the peach glimmer. And this just goes right along the bottom edge of the pink paper. So I'll use a few of my mini glue dots. I use these anytime I have like a long skinny strip to adhere. Make sure all the edges are folded under so no glue peeks out. We're going to go back to the little bird image, and we've got this fun circle die here. It has got a fun design on the edge. It's from the Spotlight on Nature set. So we'll go ahead and put a little bird there. Okay, and then you're also going to want to do some flowers around it. I use this more kind of frilly one, looks like that. And my other sample had one on each side, but my bird's kind of low this time. So I'll go 1, 2 up here and 1 back here. Still very cute. We'll grab our happy birthday. This is going to get stamped all the way to the right edge, just like that. Okay, let's pull our Stampin' Blends in. We're gonna do some coloring on this layer. This time I'll do my flowers all pink and my bird all blue. I used the lighter pink to color my flowers there, and now I'll just add a little detail in with the darker on the edge. The blends are fun that way. You can do a little bit of shading if you want to, or you can totally skip that and just color it as is. So again, I'll start with the light brush tip on my bird. And then we can jump over to the darker one and add some more detail on his wings. He has some dark spots here. Fine. And then I'll probably just use my bullet tip again for this fine area on his feet and beak. The dark one is nicer, it's just a little darker. Okay, so we get a cute little bird face there. I cut a 7-inch piece of our ribbon and I'm just going to tie it around this pink strip to give it a cute little ribbon here before we glue it down. Something like this. Okay, let's go ahead and glue this strip right onto our card front piece. I'm going to line this up on my grid paper so that I can see exactly where it is, and it'll help me get this piece straight. Because I have ribbon on here, I'm going to use mini glue dots that'll hold it really nice. And I want to go about 1 3/4 up, so that would be 7 boxes so that it's nice and straight. Looks like this is just a hair longer, so always easy to come in from the back and trim it to be flush. Okay, there's also a little bit of stamping detail that we're gonna add to the underside of the strip here. This is the same piece that we had used on the edge of the birdhouse, kind of the scallop. This is another cute way to use it. We're just gonna come right under here, over by the edge of the designer paper and stamp once, then just ink up, space it approximately similar, and stamp it again, and so it kind of fades right off the edge. So you want to do that before you attach it to the card front, just so you can make sure you get that right. And this layer should be able to go right onto the card front now with our Seal Plus. Just has a cute little black frame. I don't often think of using black card bases, but it worked so well on this card. I love how it turned out. It really makes all of the glimmer and these lighter kind of summery colors pop. Okay, we'll add our cute little bird using Stampin' Dimensionals. Just kind of attach that right where you think it looks good. We are going to lift some gems right off the sheet using our Take Your Pick tool and pop them into the centers of the flowers. Okay, and this is card number 3. Okay, here are our pieces for card number 4. This is a smaller kind of a 4-inch square card. I still gave you a standard size envelope. It should be mailable in that with no problem. And so this is just your 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 card base. And I've got this layer all embossed and ready for you that is 4 by 4. And so we'll just get some mini glue dots into the corners of these. I love these for embossed paper because it's hard to glue something down that has all this texture, but the mini glue dots are kind of like gummy and get in all the spaces, so that works well. So we'll just kind of line that up about like this. And then we'll jump over here and do some stamping. Okay, we're going to stamp this cute little hello friend just onto this small little white piece here. So I'm going to go right over the top of it and make sure I can see where it's stamping and that the word hello looks straight-ish. Great. Now we'll stamp the little bird image right onto the bird die cut. Stamp the birdhouse onto the birdhouse die cut. Again, for large stamps, I always bring the ink to it. And anytime I'm stamping onto a white die cut, I like to put it onto a darker surface to stamp. On this one, we're actually going to trim the birdhouse base right off of here. So we're not using it for this particular project. So we'll just come in like that. And then I have it off center a little, so I'm just going to trim some of the extra white off. Anytime you stamp onto a die cut and get it crooked, by cutting that extra white off, it's like it never happened. We're also going to carefully come in here and trim off the top roof. So we've kind of got 3 layers. There's the scallop, then there's the skinny little edge, and then there's a fatter edge. And we're just cutting off the biggest edge, which is so fun. You get another totally different look from this birdhouse. Okay, once you've got your little remodeled birdhouse, pull out your ink again. We're going to do a little bit more stamping on here. So first of all, let's go to this cute little flower. This is just the basic little 5-petal flower. I'm going to stamp it 3 times. I'll rotate it a little to get a slightly different look. Just right across the front of the birdhouse down bottom. And while I've got that stamp, I'll just add a few here in the corner of my envelope as well. There we go. Now the other stamping I want to do, there's this fun little image that does kind of a wood grain look. And what I'm going to do is stamp on my scratch paper like I just did, and then I'm going to come over and put some wood grain onto my birdhouse. So do this repeatedly and rotate the stamp a different direction back and forth so that you can get some different texture here. Yeah. Okay, now we're going to pull out our basic black Stampin' Blends. You're going to use your dark black, probably the bullet tip, so that you can get perfect precision here. But we're going to take this circle that kind of is a peek into the birdhouse, I suppose. It's like a little window, and we're going to color it all the way black. Okay, once you've got that part all blackened, you're going to go down to this little circle below. This is the little post for the bird to stand on. I'm going to turn that black as well. And last, I'm going up to my roof edge that we left, the thinner edge, and coloring that black. Okay, so we've darkened both circles and the roof edge. So that's everything with our black. Now we'll come in with a little petunia pop and lemon lolly and color the flowers. And of course the center here. Okay, and then I'll jump to my dark lemon lolly to color the scallops of the birdhouse. Okay, very cute little birdhouse here. Okay, let's put our greeting down in the corner of the front of our card, and I'll use mini glue dots to do that again, just again because I'm sticking down to something that is embossed or textured. I want some glue that can get down in the spaces and hang on to this paper, even though it's a little hard to hang on to. So we'll just use this, leave a small edge around here. Oops, there we go. Stick that down. Now we are going to cut just a few inches of ribbon, enough to go across this card front, probably right around 4 inches. And I'll use a couple of mini glue dots to stick it down just in the center where the birdhouse is going to be on top of it. These mini glue dots sometimes show through ribbon, so if it's going to be underneath something, that's totally fine. Okay, so we'll kind of go straight across the space we have left here above the hello friend. Stick that down. And then we'll give these edges a nice slant. Now our birdhouse will get some Stampin' Dimensionals. I'm gonna come right in here with the house. I'll let it overlap onto my hello friend just a tiny bit, like that. And then this bird is adorable as is. He doesn't need any additional color. See, he's a perfect bluebird. And when I add him on here, I'm going to position him so he is standing on this cute little post. Okay, let's come in with our gems. I'll use a couple of the purple ones. We haven't used those yet. And they match our flowers, so it's perfect. And that is card number 4. So we have finished all 4 cards now. Let's bring all of them in here so we can check out our work. Oh my word, these are so adorable. I love how they turned out. I would love to hear which one is your favorite. If you created any of these cards, let me know in the comments. If you're in my card club, give me a little shout out that you're making your cards and having fun with it. And if you haven't done my card club yet, go check out the link in the comments so that you can hop in and try it for next time. And I will catch you guys on my next video. Have a great day. Bye.